In this exercise, we'll learn how to create a new password policy for Mondego employees. We have a few objectives for this exercise. Create a new password policy for Mondego employees, create a new user, and change their password to fit the policy. We will take the following steps to accomplish our objectives. Create a new password policy, manage password changes for the policy, enable and manage syntax checking, enable and manage password history, set a password expiration and grace limit, enable password lockout, assign the policy to users and organizations, create a new user, Evie Calhoun, with a password that fits the policy. We also have one bonus exercise, which we won't cover in this video, but you can complete it on your own after the video. Add another password policy for Mondego customers, set syntax requirements, a password expiration, and enable password history and account lockout. Assign an existing user to this policy instead of the employee policy. Before we begin, I'd like to point out that although we are using Liferay DXP 7.4.13-GA1 as an example in this exercise, this version should not be used in production. Always upgrade to the latest fix pack or service pack found at help.liferay.com to ensure your project is as secure as possible. To learn how to install fix packs and service packs, check out the patching exercise in Monitor and Secure Your Platform module in the Liferay DXP 7.3 training on Liferay University. We'll start by signing in to the Mondego platform as our administrator. Once signed in, open the global menu. Go to the control panel, and under Security, click on Password Policies. Click the Add button in the top right, and for the name, type Employee Password Policy. For the description, type the password policy for all Mondego employees. Next, we'll set the specifics for this password policy. It is important to note that these next steps can be completed successfully even when entering different values for the individual password policy fields. Click Password Changes to expand the section. Now click the toggle beside Changeable to allow password changes. Click on the box that says Eternal under Reset Ticket Max Age. This is the amount of time a password reset link is valid. We want a short amount of time for that in order to be able to check it the same day, so choose 1 hour. Now we'll enable and manage syntax checking. This is where we establish the length and required characters for user passwords. Many sites, for instance, require that a password contain at least one uppercase letter, one lowercase letter, one number, and one symbol to be valid. Click Password Syntax Checking to expand the section. Click the toggle to enable syntax checking. Under Minimum Alphanumeric, type 1 to require at least one alphanumeric character. Type 10 under Minimum Length to require all passwords be at least 10 characters long. Next, we'll type 1 for each of the following categories. 1 for minimum lowercase, 1 for minimum numbers, 1 for minimum symbols, and 1 for minimum uppercase. To prevent users from reusing old passwords, we'll enable Password History. Click Password History to expand the section, and click the toggle to enable history. Click the History Count drop-down and choose 8. This will tell the platform to save 8 previous passwords and prevent users from reusing those old passwords. To encourage users to change passwords frequently, we'll set a password expiration. Click Password Expiration to expand the section. Now click the toggle to enable expiration. Open the Maximum Age drop-down menu and choose 26 weeks. So after 26 weeks, or 6 months, a user will be prompted to change passwords. We'll set a warning time. Expand the drop-down and choose 2 weeks. This means a user will be informed that their password will expire 2 weeks before the expiration. Finally, we'll set a grace limit. Click the 0 under Grace Limit and type 10. This will allow a user to log in 10 times after the password expires before forcing them to change passwords. Lastly, we'll enable Password Lockout. Click Lockout to expand the section. Now click the toggle to enable lockout. Under Maximum Failure, type 5. Then, click the logout duration dropdown and choose 30 minutes. This means that if a user inputs an incorrect password 5 times, they will be prevented from logging in for 30 minutes. Now that we're done setting up the policy, click Save. Next, we need to assign the employee password policy to users. Click the Options icon, the 3 dots next to Employee Password Policy. Now click Assign Members. Click the Add button in the top right. Then click the checkbox beside Filter and Order to select all users. Click Add. We can also assign our password policy to an organization. When we assign policies to organizations, the policy will automatically apply to any new users that are added to the organization. So click the Organizations tab to the right of Users. Click the Add button at the top right. You should see at least one organization, Mondego Investments. Click the checkbox next to Mondego Investments to select it. Click Add. To demonstrate assigning policies to organizations and to test our password policy, we'll create a new user. Open the global menu, click on Users and Organizations, and click the Add button. For the screen name, type ev.calhoun, and for the email address, type ev.calhoun@mondego.com. Scroll down to first name, and type Ev. Then for the last name, type Calhoun. At the very bottom, click Save. Next, we'll give Evie a temporary password. Click Password in the menu on the left. For now, use Test as a new password. So Test, and click Save. We'll now add Evie to the Mondego Investments organization. Click Organizations on the left. Click Select beside Organizations. Choose Mondego Investments. Then click Save. Now we can sign in as Evie and set a new password that matches the password policy assigned to all members of the Mondego Investments organization. Open the Personal menu. Click Sign Out at the very bottom. Now click Sign In, and sign in using the email and password we just set. So for email address, it's ev.calhoun@mondego.com, and the temporary password is test. Sign in. Click I agree to turn a new password. To start off, we'll enter a few passwords that will not fit the requirements of the password policy. First, type T3ST as the new password. So repeat T3ST and click Save. So it results in an error informing us that the password is too short. Next, type investment as the password. Click Save. This time, the error informs us that the password needs at least one number. If you'd like to continue testing passwords, feel free to input invalid passwords that do not fit the requirement of 10 characters long with at least one uppercase letter, one lowercase letter, one number, and one symbol. For now, we'll move on with a password that fits these requirements. We'll type 1, capital N, VESTMENT, exclamation point. So just repeat that. And now click Save. We'll also choose a password reminder question, so provide an answer, then click Save.